Hello, I'm Jack.
I'm Cal.
I'm Sean.
I'm Ben.
And this is What Sean Says, featuring me.
Me?
And me.
And me.
I like to get on the good side of people, you see.
You.
Do you actually?
Yeah, I always get on the good side of people. Well, Carl, you hated me. You actually really hated me.
Okay.
Yeah, you hated it.
You know what? When you start secondary school, you want to make friends and fit in, don't you?
Yeah.
You wanna be like one of the popular kids. I never was, so that failed miserably.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you definitely was.
I was trying to make friends and blend in all the time. He was running around me, pretending he had Tourette's and making horn noises.
Yeah.
And now, when that's following you about and you're trying to talk to someone, it doesn't work.
It just doesn't work. I tried to make friends the best possible way.
So you ran at them and made horn noises in their faces. You didn't say, hello, my name's Jack.
Yeah. But a lot of people liked it though, didn't they? Just you didn't like it, and I just wanted to be friends with you. I wanted to hang out with you.
Don't make me feel
I thought
bad.
you was cool, and you did want to hang out.
You know,
with me.
when we got over that barrier, though, we had our relationship blossomed, didn't
I
it?
feel like
Yeah.
it's just like some sort of counselling episode.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what's going here?
It was
You guys-
it was in year 9 we started being good friends. From year 9 below, it was like, oh god, you hated me. Like, I took a picture of him in class and he yelled at me. And he looks, because he used to be quite plump in secondary school, didn't you? Yeah, you don't like me bringing that up, didn't you? If I can find that picture, I'll show you. But it's yeah, you hated me.
He also used to run around with glasses that didn't have any lenses in and a Toy Story rucksack.
It was
And
fashion.
he was 16 at this time.
He was friends with me though.
Oh yeah,
He was friends with me. I also had a red quiff as well. Remember that? Not like a prop side.
He had one time he had a bleached blonde bowl cut and he just used fake tan as well.
Did anyone hang out with you at all? Did anyone like
Hey,
me?
I've made good memories. You remember?
Oh yeah, we had some good times.
You had some good times, man. Good
What
times.
about you, Sean? How would you go up to someone and make friends with them?
I'll probably take a leaf out of Jack's book.
Really?
What,
Make horn noises.
Yeah. That's what it was. You imagine that for 6 hours a day.
That's quite cool.
That would drive me crazy.
So, Sean, you're very good friends with one of our other good friends who refuses to be on the podcast. His name's Shane Pyle. How did you meet him?
I was one of those weird Asian guys who used to have those grip strengthening toys, whatever they were.
Okay.
You know, the triangle shaped things I used to squeeze. And on my lunch break, I used to just sit in the park and not in the park, but on the green and just.
Don't you just love sitting there on the green?
Yeah, just I can
Yeah,
do
for about
it.
Give it a good
100
squeeze.
more.
For like the first week, that's probably what I was like, watching too much anime, you know, just being that weird kid, I think.
That no one spoke to.
And yeah, nobody spoke to
Nobody spoke to
it.
you.
And then that one time I needed to go home and I didn't have any bus money. So this big bald guy who
We all know
He's
Shane.
bald.
he's always been bald, I think. But, I mean, not completely bald, but
He's been receding.
I don't know if that was receding, but he just doesn't have hair. It's not a funny story, but he just lent me the bus money to go home. So I don't know.
Oh, what a lovely
Yeah,
That's a lovely
love
story.
that.
that's a
isn't
very
it?
lovely story.
I remember when you used a rape alarm as a hand grenade. You remember that?
I remember that. Was you the kid that launched it into the hall and ran
Yeah,
off?
it was. We had a stage at school, didn't we?
Yeah.
And you, for some reason, you decided it was a good idea to bring that into school, and you set it off and lobbed it up to where you couldn't reach it, and it was just going off all day.
Yeah, it was a bit mental.
It was just fucking annoying. I was trying to get my lunch and then all I heard was wee, wee. I couldn't concentrate. I just had to skip lunch that time. It was distressing. It really was distressing.
It's just funny, wasn't it?
What was one of the funniest things you'd say you did at school, Sean?
The funniest thing I've done at school.
Because we had the whole, well, you call it back massager on the table thing and getting sent out, you know, accused of being sexually
Oh yeah,
assaulting
we've
a
had
teacher.
that one. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
that was a really good story.
That was fun. That wasn't funny for me. That was more traumatizing.
Traumatizing.
Yeah.
You could not look at that teacher ever again in the eyes.
No.
And you know, she spoke about EMI lessons. Oh, I've had this really pervert kid. in my
She
class.
never said that.
She did. She
No
said
way.
because I was in the same English class because he was in Middlesex. I was bottom set.
Do you remember the time we almost got excluded for apparently breaking ping pong balls?
Yeah. So Sean, you wasn't around for this one. We was in year 7, and I was a goody child. trying to make friends still. Obviously, still trying there with Kyle. Didn't work out. We had this amazing little youth centre where we used to go, and for like this Friday, the last day of the week, they got us in there for an hour. It was usually for the older kids, for the 13-year-olds, the big kids. Although we were. No, it was
for the good kids.
Because we was 11. No, it was more for the 16-year-olds.
It was for the kids for
the 16.
Yeah, because you've always kind of been small anyway, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No matter what year you in.
Basically, it's for the kids that were too scared to get into fights when in there.
yeah, book club. So we basically, I was playing ping pong, and there was a particular kid it probably isn't even that much of a good story now, but there was a kid in this class. It probably was. It's a really shit story. But to put it straight, basically they were chucked around too much. They broke. I tried to cover up the situation by opening them up and putting like crisp packets in there to make him fill out, so it was still like, I don't know why I did that. I thought it'd fix it, but it made it more obvious. Then teacher called us all in and said, you can't go anywhere. It was like 3:30 now, so we was all meant to go home. So you can't go anywhere until someone admits who broke the ping pong balls. So then I didn't even do it, but I just put my hand up and said it was me. And that's pretty much the ping pong story. It
What
wasn't
happened?
even that.
Oh, so you took
Did you
credit
get told
for
off,
that
or
then,
did she just say okay?
What? Well,
we became men that day.
Me and Carl both fessed up.
But no
to
one
that.
appreciated it, did
Yeah. I think that was the day that our friendship kind of started to blossom until the next day where you called me a dick in the playground.
How could you remember one occasion me calling you a dick? I
Yeah,
call
well,
you
I
a
mean-
dick every day.
I wanted to make friends, Carl, and you just wasn't there for me at the time. Rhys Iverson was there, and he was your best friend at the time.
No. When we became friends, we were a pulling machine together, mate.
Pulling machine.
We were.
We were.
Back in the day, mate. Oh,
Year 7 had like
I don't know what happened, but
3 girlfriends in the space of 3 weeks. So that's 1 girlfriend a week. Quick
Yeah,
math.
yeah.
Till they dumped me. Till they dumped us.
Do you know what?
did
The
that.
reason why you got successful because they got more educated.
yeah,
And
it's
then-
like 16 when we were 16, mate. We're going to underage clubs, weren't we, Jack?
That
Jack
sounds
actually
so
Jack
bad.
started a gang
That
war.
sounds horrific.
Jack started a
Underage
gang
clubs.
war when we went there.
Oh, this is a good story.
Yeah, so every time we went to this club, it was for like teenagers.
The pulling club, yeah.
Every time, Michael Jackson had come on and he'd start doing fucking same routine every single week.
Yeah.
Oh
I mean,
my
the first time was amazing.
God.
We had everyone in the club. I mean, I admit I was embarrassing. I had everyone in the club like, yeah, it's Jack, Michael Jackson, the Michael Jackson kid. And then the 15th time, going back to the club doing the same thing.
Yeah, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
not again.
He booted a gang leader, a 15-year-old gang leader on
He
the
was part of
arse.
the Deal Town elite.
Yeah,
group.
he kicked him on the arse, and the whole club just erupted into a war.
Yes.
I actually found myself running across train tracks that night to stop myself from getting stabbed.
True story. And I didn't get touched at all. In fact,
No.
if anything, my friends that were sticking up for me got
No.
beaten up. My friend Cameron
See.
James got a black eye.
Basically,
say.
Jack got picked up and went, and we was all running for our lives for the whole night.
My mum picked me up, drove me home.
From what I heard
You
from
know,
that
a slightly bigger friend of ours actually got seriously injured that night because when he tried to jump off the train tracks, he missed it and hit his chest into the wall. And all you could see was his feet just flop over it.
Alice, what position was you produced from?
Oh my god!
Well, there we go.
what position do you think you were produced from, Sean?
Missionary, I'd say.
Mission.
I feel missionary.
I feel like I was
Okay, Sean. So let's talk about when you went on Magaluf Weekender.
Okay.
So I'll fill the start off. Jack had sent in a trial that you were completely unaware of, signed you up to this, and then next thing you knew, you were having a interview and whatnot. And I wasn't invited, obviously.
The funny thing about it, though, Sean didn't know who Lawrence was until we went on the show. Hey, Lawrence, I'm Sean. We had 2 interviews, so Sean had no clue who Lawrence was
That's
until
actually true, yeah.
What? And you had to do all the activities together.
we had to pretend that Lawrence and Sean were best friends with me. I mean, me and Sean were already best friends, but Lawrence and Sean knew each other from ages ago.
What did you have to do, Sean?
Well, I don't remember. What did we do in the interview?
So the interview was
we
quite a
done a
funny
game, didn't we?
process. So they tried to see what we like working in a team, didn't they? So they put us in a room. They had 2 cameras facing us, and I think they were recording the whole time. And we just pissed around. We walked up to
It was a
London.
dancing one, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I can't remember what happened, but it was a dancing one. We had to dance.
Because there was 2 balloons. So the girls we were put with were the girls who put on the show with us. They put a balloon in between us, and we had to try and roll it up to the top. And it didn't go really well. Did
That
it?
was one of them, but I can't remember that too well. I think we had to pop the balloon or something like that.
Yeah.
What? Could we just you and Jack thrusting into each other like?
Yeah, it's pretty much. It was actually you and Lawrence, wasn't it? Because I remember because it was Sean.
Somebody didn't know, just like thrusting it. Come on, let's just together.
Sean's head was going into Lawrence's crutch. Lawrence, because Lawrence is quite tall.
But the dancing one was the worst. That's the one I remember the most.
Right,
And
we'll
I
get
was
through it.
dancing with one of the girls on there, and I'm really bad at dancing. I hate
What were you
dancing.
doing? What sort of moves?
Yeah.
I was like this. And she's like really good at dancing. I was so
What? She's like
embarrassed.
proper like working it, and you're just like.
That's the only dance move I know. So.
Just imagine you at the wedding now, just now for the groom and bride to have the dance, and you just look at Charlotte going.
Yeah, we did the interview, and then we got called because prior to the interview as well, I signed Sean and Lawrence up secretly about telling them, and then they called Sean and Lawrence first. I think it was you they called first, wasn't it?
I think it might be. Well, they said Jack signed you up for this Magaluf weekend or whatnot.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what that was to begin with, so I obviously went along with it,
Yeah.
which I later regretted, very much so. And I played along. I answered her questions, and we went to the interview. When we finally went out there, I had a Gangnam Style top on, which was alright. And then they said, "Oh, you can't wear Gangnam Style," so I had to change it. And the only top that Jack had was Bang Tidy. So I'm turning up in a Bang Tidy top. Everyone's taking the piss out of me because obviously I'm just not that sort of guy.
So yeah, can you remember the hat I wore? How ridiculous I looked with that stupid hat on. Like, I looked like the proper whitest kid around. A sunburnt to the max, white hat. I look ridiculous. So you didn't look half bad, to be fair, mate.
Oh, I did.
Sean, why was Magaluf Weekender a bad experience for you?
Well, if you ever, I was in the news. I was on the newspaper. And the big caption in bold letters was, I can't remember exactly what it was, but something pillowcase, whatnot. Because I bought a pillowcase with me, which is a bad idea, and I brought a photo with me.
Whose
which is also a
pillowcase
bad
was
idea.
it?
Well, that was my girlfriend's pillowcase.
Just take your girlfriend's
I don't
pillow.
know. I was just
It was madly in
and
love.
Then,
yeah.
And your reason being was because it smelt of her and it reminded you
Well,
of
no,
her.
that was not the reason being.
Yeah,
But that's what they showed.
pretty
That's
sure
what they
you
showed.
said.
That's what they manipulated into make.
I'm
me
pretty
to
sure
say
that's
it.
what you said on
No
television.
way.
Oh,
But then, yeah, they really made me out to be. I don't know what the word is. Maybe a.
We can't put that in.
You can't say.
No.
Just say that same sentence again, but say just say like knobhead or something.
No man.
Say fucking idiot. So, you know what?
just say or absolute waste of space, something like
Absolute
that.
waste.
Oh my god.
Say scumbag of the earth.
Oh, yeah, they made me out to be a sobby bastard. Yeah. And then they tricked me into, because obviously before they put it on telly and made it live, I asked them. I said, what did you make me look like? Was I good? And they were like, oh yeah, you were really good. You look really cool in it. And then the second it goes live, not my Instagram, my Twitter blew up. Look at this melt.
That was literally the most used word on Twitter that day. Sean and Melt.
You got so much abuse. Just so remember I was crying with laughter. Absolutely wet myself because your Twitter was so bad.
It was really bad.
I've
The comments.
Some people said you were sweet, but I'd say 90% of it was abusive.
95% probably abuse. 5% were nice, but yeah.
I did feel for you though. I mean, I got some abuse, but you, on the other hand, literally, it was like a river Nile of abuse swimming your way. Literally,
The best thing about that was that it was mostly Jack. I'd say it was around 50% you, and then 50% the other girl who's featured in it, and then well, obviously not 50-50, but then Sean had a features in it, but they're all to do with him being really soppy. And then Lawrence was just there. I don't even think Lawrence said anything. He was literally just there for everything. I think the only thing that he was thrown in really for was when you guys had to do that. Strippers undress you or something, or
oh
lap dance
yeah,
or something
the
like that.
part where I get completely stripped and he doesn't. My bollocks actually fall out live on television. Luckily they
Your
censored it.
bollocks.
You know what I did, right? This one time, I because that was one bad thing about it. But I was getting changed in my room, and Sean and Lawrence are out, talking, being friendly to people. I was getting changed in my room, and I remember walking around my room with my knob out at one point. I was just like getting changed, doing my thing, and I realised I was like, and then all of a sudden I walked out the room, I was like, yeah, and then this camera, we had cameras in the room, just went, it looked directly at me, and I was like, and then literally I freaked out, whacked my boxes on, and ran all the way up to the VCR room where the guy was, and I couldn't get in, they wouldn't let me up there, so I just like begged and pleaded for them to not put that on television. I was terrified. My knob was just hanging through me. just running around.
I bet you were almost crying.
I was. Can you remember that bit? I was stressing about that for ages. I told Jordan, I told Imogen, I told all of them on the I told everyone on the show. I hope I really have my knob. I don't know what I'm going to do if my knob comes out.
I can imagine you panicking as well. Does it look alright? Does it look okay for camera? If it goes live, tell me it looks okay.
It was cold. Okay. It was a nightmare, but that was one part, and obviously I didn't really get, because also going back to the whole stripping thing. There was a part where the girl was soaking me with water, but it wasn't warm water, it was freezing cold water, and everyone knows what happens to a guy when it gets freezing cold. Can all the guys in this room agree with me right here?
What happens when it's small in the first place though and you get cold water on it?
Do you have to...
Well,
is it all just foreskin hanging off?
Mine's like a trunk, mate.
Yeah, Jack, when you go for a pee, do you have to take a Viagra just to get out the zipper?
When you pee, does it shoot straight forward?
Shoot straight forward.
Dangle your hips.
Oh! I have to lay down.
You have to plank across the toilet to piss.
Mama, just going for a pee, don't mind me.
Could you imagine him in one of the public urinals just laid on the floor like trying to squirt inside?
What do you think your penis smells of, Sean?
My penis?
Yeah, what would you say it smells like?
I've never smelt it, to be honest.
Yeah, but what?
It's not big enough. Even if it was big enough to go up to my nose, I wouldn't smell it.
Would you be like, not breathing? Not
breathing in? No.
If you could imagine what it smelled like to a girl, what do you think it would smell like?
What's that?
Indian curry, probably.
What? Why would it smell like that?
Well, I don't know. What do you think yours smells like?
Well, I don't go to the chip shop and dip my dick in sauce.
What is something that is something silly that you look back on now that you're like, oh wow, I can't believe that, or I can't believe I did that, I used to think that?
Oh, I've got a story that I don't know if I want it. Oh, I'll just tell it anyway, but
yeah.
It's a silly one.
Yeah, you can fill it out.
Like, when I was in Japan, I don't remember why. It probably wasn't my first erection, but I got an erection, and then the foreskin wouldn't go back over the head, so it was constantly out of the foreskin, and I couldn't get it back over. And I went to the doctors, and then the male doctor like looked at it and went, and like started doing this with it. I don't know what. And he was like demonstrating how it can go over and under the head. And that was probably the most embarrassing story.
Wait, did he do that with your own penis?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He was wanking you off to see if your foreskin in there.
I was
wanked off by a doctor.
I was young, bearing in mind. I don't know how.
You know what?
He wanked you off as a young boy.
Concerned about this doctor, Sean.
Oh my god, where did you go to the doctors?
It was in Japan.
After all the abuse you guys give me about me having something,
got wanked off as a kid.
You actually got wanked off as a child.
Well, it was like a couple seconds. But
It was the best
really? Was she that
2 seconds of my life.
The best 2 seconds. Was you that quick, Sean? About 2 seconds.
it was just a very awkward doctor.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yes.
Jesus Christ! If another doctor touched my dick when I was that young, oh my god. Actually, even now, even now, that would still be weird. But Jesus,
You must have some stories as well, Ben.
what's that?
Tell me your embarrassing story.
I've got one.
Go on then.
Go on then. I
I
remember when I saw your knob, Jack, for the first time. That was
was
that
about
was
to go into that story.
That was well funny. That was. Is that what you was about to tell? Oh, this is a good story. Go on.
There we go. So I've got a really good story for you guys to tell you. This is something I look back on, and obviously in my years where I was trying to make friends, Carl, bringing you back into this one here. Not good with you. Obviously, PE was probably the worst time of the week for me. Bearing in mind, this is my first ever PE session ever had, ever. never had a PE session at Archer's Court before, which was our secondary school. We somehow shared this one session with the year 8s, which are the people above us. I think they'll give us some like training to get us used to meeting each other and all that kind of stuff. However, I was going out with this girl at the time who was a year above me, and she knew a couple of boys who took banter to the next level. And because I was new to the school, they thought they could just mess around with me much. I, did their thing. Was getting changed in the PE in front of all my year 7 friends who probably hadn't started puberty yet. I just started puberty, I think. I'd say so. I didn't look after myself.
You were the hairiest one in school, mate.
So the story was, I was getting changed. I turned around to talk to Carl, to converse with him or with anyone else. And this guy called Tom, who's in year 8 above me, comes up behind me and pulls down my shorts. Then also bringing down my boxers, which were also similar to kind of like the loose-waisted boxers that went down with the shorts as well. Out comes my knob. And it was just pretty much just the jungle down there.
It was bright red though. It's just scarred me forever. It was bright red. It must have been spanking that thing so much. It was red raw, man. The worst thing was he got capped in front of everyone, and then he turned around, bent over, and full bored his arse out to everyone to pull him back up again. And I was like, oh! And then he turned around, oh!
Double whammy.
Yeah. You got a lovely view of my cock.
And then you went and got your sister, didn't you? Tell them off. I'm going to get my sister. I'm not having you show everyone my knob.
My sister was like the police in that school. Anyone who like bothered me in the slightest, she'd go and tell them off. It was great having an older sister. But yeah, not only did I treat my year 7 friends to my knob, but I also treated them to a view of my arsehole as well. You're welcome, Kyle. Sean, you're lucky you weren't there to see that.
I wish I was.
Oh, you wish you was. That's how you feel about me, Sean.
Brilliant, Sean. I'd probably say it's not even like I don't even think it's funny. But when I first started going out, obviously clubbing and kissing for the first time, I never really knew what to do. So something I used to do when I kissed girls was keep my eyes open.
Give us a demonstration, Ben, of what you look like to the mic, looking directly at the camera.
So I'd literally just be kissing, but I didn't know what I was doing, so I wasn't really enjoying it. So
is that your kissing face?
I came out and just opened eyes for the first time. She would just see me like just staring right into her eyes. And honestly, every time, I think for the first maybe like 8 or 9 times I did it, the girl would just talk to a friend and they go off and I wouldn't see them for the rest of the night. And I don't blame them, to be honest. It must have been like really traumatic for them. Yeah, that's. Yeah. Pretty much. Oh,
that was great.
Yeah, cheers for that.
Carl, have you got any for us? Or Sean, you got any?
I'll tell one more, because I don't want that doctor one to be in there, actually. So I'll tell...
Oh, that was good, though. That was so good.
That's just a bit weird, though, ain't it?
It is weird.
Not
That
weird
is
for you,
really
it's weird for the
weird.
doctor. It's weird the doctor.
No.
Yeah, it was definitely the doctor.
It was
mate.
not you. You
were just
It
young and inexperienced. Yeah, I feel like you were a bit. That's a childline sort of story that was, Sean.
It
No,
is.
I think that's a bit of a weird situation to be in, though, ain't it?
It's not nice having doctors. Like, when I went to, I found a lump on my ball, and obviously I was with a girl at the time, so I was trying to do some different stuff. So all the hair was gone, and I went to get him checked like the day after, and he pulled everything out. And went, oh. Like, oh shit! Like, is something wrong? There's no pubic hair. Oh yeah.
Oh!
So what do you say to that though?
It's bald. Plucked chicken.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, mate, it was totally bald. And then when they ask you, there's like, yeah, you got to lift your penis up, and you're just like, how? And stuff. So I had to get him to show me where I needed to put it and stuff.
To lift your penis?
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah,
ask him how to do
it
that.
was like, just hold it up to your stomach and stuff. And he just kept looking at my balls like that. Like,
This is
Totally
definitely
bald.
a new one here. Yeah.
yeah.
It's so smooth. It's
Yeah.
so smooth.
I think at least it must have looked a bit bigger without the hair on, eh?
Yeah, that is the general
Yeah.
tip is trim it to make it look bigger.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I really did it. I knew I was going to the doctor's,
Yeah,
and it was small anyway, so I thought, fuck it.
Yeah.
Get rid of all the hair.
Yeah, can't have it small in front of a female
No,
doctor.
no.
Oh, definitely not.
Oh no,
God.
it was a middle-aged man. Yeah, it was a middle-aged man.
Did he just, when he asked you to put them in, it's going to be your lucky day.
Yeah.
A trim just for you.
No, I just closed my eyes when he pulled my pants down. Well, when I pulled my pants down, I couldn't look him in the eye.
So, what do you think? Is this
So
girl
at
that
least I
seemed
made an
lucky,
effort
or?
for him, didn't I?
Yeah.
I mean, you on that day when you got catch, you made no effort whatsoever. There was hair everywhere.
Honestly, you know what? The world might as well see. You know,
What? No, the world shouldn't see
No,
that.
we didn't want to see your cock. We just started
I
school.
was trying to make friends. Okay, guys.
That's definitely one way to do
Making
it.
horn noises
Yeah.
and showing them your knob.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way forward, guys.